Today I'm gonna see if I can make a hot pink epoxy knife. So I've got a bunch of knife kits as well as beautiful wood, but I really want something very unique and unlike any other knife. I want a hot pink one. So I figured epoxy might be a good choice. First of all, I made a bunch of molds. Here's a wooden knife scale, so I modeled the size from there and just glued up some scraps I cut up with hot glue, because it seemed like the quickest and easiest way. And to ensure the epoxy won't stick to the molds, I put some wax paper down. So first I want to try to mix food coloring into the epoxy. I got white and I got red. I'm not sure exactly how much of this I need, but I guess we'll see. So I think that's a pretty interesting pink color. I kind of like it, but let's make one with even more white in it, so even more like pinkish, hot pink. Like, I'm so excited to see how these are gonna look when they harden. Like, is the color gonna stay the same? Can you kind of see through it? You know what I mean? So next I want to add like more sparkle, more glitter to it. I have some pink sugar as well as some little hearts, heart sugars, mini hearts. So I'm gonna add sprinkles. I wonder if you're gonna see this at all. Kind of looks just like there's some like sand in here or something. I think I might be bold and add the hearts in here as well. Maybe this sugar and these hearts would be better in clear epoxy and not colored at all. It's like the weirdest thing ever. So I'm gonna try that now. I'm gonna add clear epoxy and then add pink sugar and heart sprinkles. Oh, at least you can see the hearts in this one. It looks like it would be delicious, but I don't think so. So next I'm thinking about making one with this acrylic paint. Really curious how that's gonna turn out. Oh, it was neon for sure. I love this one. This one's super pink. Now I also want to do, I have this really cool glitter and I want to make one more now. But I want the glitter to kind of show. So I'm thinking maybe I can use the same paint but like a tiny bit and then kind of add this to it as well. I'm just thinking, I wonder if I can combine a little bit of this paint with a little bit of white food coloring. So acrylic and food coloring to kind of make this a touch lighter. Let's try that. Oh, I love it. It's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna let these cure now and see how they turn out. Like a fruit fudge. So nice. Oh wow. So I just went out to cut a straight cut on these on the bandsaw, and it's kind of interesting to see how all the glitter and the sprinkles all gathered at the bottom here. So now I'm going to cut these out to fit to the knives. So I want to make sure I could put the downside towards the inside of the knife so I get more of this glitter once I sand it down. So I'm cutting out the shapes on the bandsaw and I'm wearing my RZ mask so I don't breathe in the dust. It's funny, I get so many questions about what mask this is. So for everyone wondering, this is an RZ mask. You can replace the filters and they come in all sorts of colors and different sizes. So these knife kits have holes in the handles, so you can later put screws all the way through the handle, and I'm just marking out and drilling them all through. Okay. I figured while I'm in the knife making mood, I might as well make a couple of wooden ones too. This is bloodwood, and here I'm using some double-sided tape so I only have to cut once. Cocobolo. A black acrylic blank. And Indian rosewood. And then there was just a lot of sanding to get them all down to size. Here I'm sporting my blue new mask, and this was one of those times where I was so happy I had it, because that epoxy dust, not my favorite at all. It smells just bad, and the dust is so fine. I really hated sanding those blanks. Sure, it sands down pretty quickly, it's not very hard, but still, I think I'll take the wood any day. Of course, once I remembered to plug in the shop vac, it was a lot better. Okay, so I got all the handles sanded and they look really good. Then I realized that there of course are these holes through here, which I drilled before, and I don't really feel like messing around and trying to fit the metal through here. So I think what I'm going to do instead is to mix some more epoxy and use the black food coloring and fill that in everywhere. And I think that could look pretty cool, so let's do that. So the epoxy has dried, so now I want to kind of get the epoxy off and sand these super smooth. And I'm going to utilize a couple of different sandpapers, and I'm going to wet sand at the end. I'm thinking I'm going to sand in some shellac to really fill in all those pores. So all the knives are done, so let me go over them all. The first epoxy molds I made are these. And I didn't love these, they weren't exactly the color I was looking for, so I ended up not using these 4 knives. This one is the next one that I did. This is still food coloring, and this has the sprinklers, the little heart sprinklers, and the colored sugar, the pink sugar in here. And I don't know, I must say I'm a little bit disappointed with the way this one turned out, because I thought that the sugar would maybe look all sparkly and kind of pretty, but instead it kind of looks like sand inside the epoxy, and you can't really decipher that these little sprinkles were hearts. It just kind of looks like little white and red pieces in here. So I mean, it's fine, but it just wasn't exactly what I was going for. This one, on the other hand, is very pink. It's very hot pink, so I did accomplish my objective here. I really like this one. This is with the acrylic paint, and it really is beautiful, really solid and nice. Now on the other side, I made this one with a touch of the acrylic paint and the sequins. Again, I must say, I was kind of hoping that the sequins would be all sparkly and shiny and pretty, but instead, I don't know, it kind of looks like dill, like some dry herb or something in there, because you know, you just kind of see the side part of it, which is kind of funny. So it doesn't look very sequency at all, very glittery. So again, I mean, this side is very pink though. This one I think worked out the best out of all of those. I also made a couple wood ones. So I did, this is bloodwood. This one I think turned out really nice. This is Cocobolo, which was by far the most challenging wood to work with, I think, in terms of sanding and shaping. It's really very tough. And this one is rosewood, Indian rosewood. And this one I think is really pretty too. This is an oyster knife. I also used like a black, like acrylic blank that I had, and it kind of has a little bit of texture. And I do like this one as well. I think this one turned out really pretty. I do like the little black epoxy dot in all of these. Of course, this is not structural. There's no metal going through these. But I am not worried about that at all. This epoxy on these knives is really hard. I think this is going to be just fine. And the epoxy little dots do look pretty cool, so that worked out. I think these are going to make a really nice Christmas present. Kind of looking forward to that. And it's just a lot of fun to play with this. I mean, they may not all be perfect, but I did learn a lot doing this for next time, and it was kind of fun playing with the epoxy as well and trying to accomplish this. I guess next time I would make sure that I would make like not as thick blanks if I wanted the sequins to kind of show, and maybe kind of sprinkle more on top as it was almost dry. Maybe that would work, I don't know. So yeah, all of these knife kits are from Rockler, as well as the epoxy that I used. So I'll leave links to those in the description below. So yeah, I think that's about it. See you guys soon. Bye!